global warming is the #1 issue in the world.
Okay, good.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Tell me why.
Because they hate black people. They fucking hate black people and they're racist.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, the David K channel. If you're a first timer, please smash that subscribe button. Give me a big old thumbs up if you like the energy, if you like the channel. It really helps to fight big tech censorship. We have a very interesting video for you today. We're going to be reacting to 5 different videos that you sent me, which I really appreciate. You constantly give me content to react to. So nonetheless, let's react to some of this stuff.
Very concerned about global warming, or is that a hoax in your world? I don't
I
know.
lose sleep over it every night.
You what?
I lose sleep over it every night. The
I
warming of the
don't know
globe.
whether, I don't know whether you're being facetious.
Oh my God, I shiver every night when I go to sleep. Are you global warming?
I assume you're being sarcastic.
I would be very serious. Why would I be sarcastic? I mean, global warming is the #1 issue in the world.
Okay, good.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Tell me why.
Yeah, I think you do. Why? Because
Well, let me tell you why I care, because the Obamas, Clintons, Bill Gates, they all tell me always that it's a very important thing, while they continue to buy beach waterfront properties. And here's the interesting thing is that in their insurance, there's no clause that say, you know, if water raises by this amount of much over the next, you know how long, then my property is still insured. Listen, I'm no climate change denier, but it's on them that they've morphed global warming into this new term climate change to make us seem like we are denying a narrative. Listen, nobody here is denying that climate changes. It changes every day, every week, especially here in Georgia. We get all 4 seasons in a single week. But over thousands and millions of years, as we know, climate has changed. But here's the thing that we don't know is that how much do we impact that change? And the most interesting thing is that you can't find a single study that is not government funded that somehow agrees with their narrative.
From the Russia-Ukraine war to Israel-Palestine and Azerbaijan threatening an all-out invasion of Armenia, the trans 4-star admiral of the U.S. Public Health Services, Rachel Levine, is going extremely viral with an important message for the American people.
I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate changes. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change.
Ask 100 black people what their top 10 biggest concerns in the United States is right now, and I guarantee you that climate change and racism, for a matter of fact, would not even be in the top 100.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
This is simply just the outgrowth of critical race theory. As somebody who took critical race theory courses in college, I understand and know exactly what I recognize it, and it's what critical race theories term as environmental inequality.
What did he say?
The theory is that climate change is a factor for racial disparities because where minorities live. The notion is that they're almost always centered around poor environment, which impacts their health and overall life. And climate change plays a big factor in amplifying those living conditions. Again, this is what critical race theories term as environmental inequality, and I believe that all of this is because of white supremacist institutions.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They believe that this is all a result of discriminatory laws passed by our congressmen that target minorities.
Trump's a very interesting man. I remember there was a time where I was like, Trump's bad, he's racist. I succumbed to like the mass media of what they claimed he was. And I remember I hadn't spoke to Andrew for a while, so we jump on the phone. We get into some sort of politics. He's like to me, yo, what's your opinion on Trump? And I'm like, this guy, man, I don't really rate him. Bro, I'm like, he's a racist. Like, oh, and he sticks up for the Ku Klux Klan and all this other stuff. He's like, show me where he said that. So I'm searching now, I go online, I'm looking. Can't find a single article, a single video. You can find articles of them claiming he states these things. I couldn't find a single video of him actually saying it. So I'm like, where did they get this from then? It's easy, they just make it up. You believed it? Then I started thinking, pulled up like 6 videos back to back of him on the news. No, I do not support the KKK. They're talking about equality and talking about making sure that the black community, the unemployment drops down, which he did. He actually done everything he said. Like he said in that video, done 0 wars. And I sat there and I was like, man, I actually got played by the media.
Listen, the media is deceptive. We've all been manipulated at some point by the media. And I don't hold back on this because I agree with this dude. I was manipulated by the media. I really thought that when Trump said there's good people on both sides, that I thought he referred to the KKK. But then when I was confronted about it and I started to dig into it and I saw the whole video, I realized that the media literally manipulated me. He wasn't referring to the fact that there are good people on both sides, referring to the KKK and white supremacists. He was just saying that the people there protesting against taking down statues are good people. People that are against that, they're also good people because they're out there expressing their own thoughts. He never, ever supported the KKK.
What? What the fuck?
And that's the interesting thing is that if that happened with this event, imagine how many times the media has done that. And the interesting thing is that when you do these deep dives, you learn and you see how absurd this really is.
How are women specifically overall, not just one woman individually, how are they oppressed in today's society?
I mean anything.
Can you drive?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to have a credit card?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to buy a house?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to work a job?
Yeah.
Aren't those all the same things that men can do?
No, because men can go out without being catcalled. Men don't have to worry about their safety as much. Men can basically walk around doing whatever the fuck they want, and women have to worry about everything on the goddamn planet.
That's actually not true. What was that statistic that we brought up?
Over 80% of violent crime in the country happens to men.
And who set that system up?
Look up the statistic.
Okay, awesome. I gotta go.
You see, the feminists in today's society didn't choose their enemies wisely. They chose men as their enemy, which completely destroys the ability to have a nuclear family. And who does this impact the most negatively? Women.
Now, I'm really mad.
And here's my biggest thing is that there's no law that exists in the United States that somehow discriminates against women, specifically for their gender, because it would be illegal because we passed Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which fully protects individuals based on their gender, women, from being discriminated against in the workforce and in whatever environment that there is. So I don't see any type of suppression, especially in today's modern society.
What did he say?
Do you think voter ID laws are racist?
I think so.
Most of the motivation behind them being put into place is rooted in racism.
I think voter ID laws are inherently discriminatory. When you look, the vast majority of people who do not currently have IDs are people of color.
Do you have an ID?
Okay. Absolutely.
Can you show us? What do you have to say to all the people that say black Americans can't get voter ID?
I don't even know why they would say that. We can get the same things that every other American can get. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Republicans are just trying to make it really fucking hard for minorities to vote.
Why do they do that?
Because they hate black people. They fucking hate black people and they're racist.
So that was a fucking lie.
This is some of my favorite mental gymnastics. These social justice warriors should honestly receive like gold medal or something for their performance here. And they're saying the quiet part out loud, which makes them truly racist. They believe that minorities are either too poor or too dumb to get an ID.
Oh my God! Wow!
They think that they're so poor that they can't afford an ID, even though in states like mine, IDs are free, which leads them to the second part, that they're too dumb to get an ID, meaning that they don't know where the DMV is, or they just simply don't know how to literally get an ID.
God, please, no! 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 No!
Again, this is just an outgrowth of critical race theory. Critical race theorists like Carol Anderson, the author of One Person, No Vote, argues this literal BS all the time. She claims that voter ID is simply just an extension of white supremacist institutions, and she believes that voter ID is simply there just to discriminate against minorities.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
All right, if you like this type of content, again, please smash that subscribe button. Give me a big old thumbs up. Share this with all of your friends. And until next time, Critical Thinker Army.